With this video we would like to propose a balancing solution for the active radar missiles of the mobile AA. Most of our viewers would probably agree with us that the active radar missiles are simply an epidemic plague that has no place in a battlefield game. Arguably, the best balancing solution for this problem would be to simply cut this so-called feature from the game. In reality, it's not that simple because the programmers over at DICE LA only have the possibility to add new features to the game. They are not allowed to remove old ones. Well, exactly for that we would like to propose a solution. This one is not even completely new, but was in a Battlefield game before. In the Battlefield 3 single-player campaign, in the mission Going Hunting, you had the ability to fire AGM-88 anti-radar missiles at the enemy air defense that was protecting the airport in that mission. Here, the F-18 is functioning as a SEAD aircraft, SEAD standing for Suppression of Enemy Air Defense. We'll also add a Wikipedia link in the description in case you're interested in what exactly SEAD means. Looking at this real example, we see a way of implementing a game mechanic that would allow to effectively counter an MAA shooting the active radar missiles. First of all, the stealth jets should be allowed to carry a new secondary weapon system. In case of the American faction, that would be the AGM-88, or for its Russian counterpart, the AS-17 Krypton. Without going too much into depth with this, the Su-25 in reality would be the prime example for a SEAD aircraft. On the other hand, this also applies to the F-35. Keeping the game mechanics in the back of your head, we think that only the stealth jets in-game should be allowed to carry those active radar missiles to furthermore increase their role as an air superiority guarantor. Now the question is, how would you practically use such an anti-radar missile in-game? Well, first of all, with the range of, let's say, 1.5 to 2 kilometers, I think we're heading in the right direction, keeping in mind that the active radar missiles, of course, have unlimited range. So as soon as the active radar missile is fired by the MAA, preferably of course sitting all the way back in the vehicle spawn as it's done by all the professional AA drivers, knack, the missile itself plus the last known position of the AA should be saved in the HUD. The jet pilot's job would now be to roughly point its jet in the direction of the last known position of the AA, fire its missiles and then dust off as soon as possible. Visually, you could follow the example of DCS, where you only need to put rectangle and circle on top of each other to be able to fire your anti-radar missile. Those missiles then should deal 20 damage per hit, including a mobility hit on the AA itself. This is only fair and equivalent to the damage that the active radar does to jets. Of course, the lock-on warning sound of the anti-radar missiles should be as short as it is perceived by jets that are being fired upon with active radars. The jet should carry 2 missiles that could be fired instantly and have a third one ready within a relatively short amount of time. This is only copying what the MAA has in its arsenal, and it's all about the simple balancing here. Now you might argue that some real anti-air vehicles, for example the Tunguska, actually use a target acquisition radar in combination with its 30mm autocannons. Trying to implement some proper fair play game mechanics using those homing in anti-radar missiles would only be fair if the MAA itself was using a comparable weapon system like the active radar missiles, of course, that we mentioned so much. This would not be fair if you were using a manually guided weapon system like the autocannons. In conclusion, we think that this way lock-on weapons would keep each other at bay. This would only be fair. Speaking metaphorically, this would be a fight no skill versus no skill. Admittedly, this is not a very attractive game mechanic, but since the complete removal of active radar is sadly out of question, this is our proposal. Thanks again guys for watching. If you liked this video, then please consider to share it with your friends and spread the word. If you think that this proposal makes some sense or no sense at all, please leave a comment. We reply to almost everything.